What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 2 of my LA Kings NHL 20 Franchise Mode series. If you guys missed the last episode, make sure to check that out. But if you don't want to, I'll give you a quick update, kind of everything that's gone down. Basically, we got, I think, second last in the league last year, which is what we wanted to do, get a high pick. We actually picked 4th and 5th, so it worked out pretty well. We took Raymond and Rossi. The Avalanche there actually won the Stanley Cup. We signed Taylor Hall in free agency. Wasn't really planning on signing a big-name free agent, but we had the money. Hall's not even that old. I figured why not try. So I feel like, we're definitely speeding up this rebuild for sure. Team stats there is now hopeful. Last year's rebuilder, I think we've added like 10 points to our offense. As you can see there, the first line we got Hall, Kopitar, Cirelli. We also signed last offseason Ferk, Carter, and Duclair on that second line. Ferk's shot now is just ridiculous. He's gotten a bit better. Velarde there playing with Turcotte and Kempa. I hope I said that right finally. And then we have Iafallo down the 4th line with Prokhorkin and Brown. So pretty solid 4th line, obviously. A couple of rookies there. Turcotte and Velarde on the 3rd line, hoping they do well. Defensively here, we got Gustafsson playing with Subban. We actually traded Doughty for Subban plus a pick, which turned into Lucas Raymond, so worked out well, I think. Sean Walker, Devin Tate on the 2nd pair. Then I got Borgman, Schmaltz there, the cheap 3rd pair. Goaltending-wise, Georgia's now the starter, 83 overall. Quick there, backing him up. Kind of like Brown and Carter. I feel like we're basically going to have to see his contract through. Maybe about the last year if we really are strapped for cash and we need the extra money, but if not, we'll just honestly let it run out because it's going to cost us to get rid of that contract. The power play here, you can see got Turcotte on there, hoping and get some play time. Obviously, Ferk's cannon there. Kopitar, Hall, just the best players. Unfortunately, no really chemistry boost. 4-man power play, same thing. Now, the first PK, we actually get +5, so hopefully they shut it down. And then the 3-man there, you get +1 and a 0, so not too bad. And real quick, guys, I want to thank Manscaped.com for sponsoring this video. I know we all want a glorious beard like Brent Burns, but you don't want to be looking like Chewbacca on the rest of your body. And Manscaped.com is the perfect solution as it's the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. They're actually featured on Shark Tank, and Mark Cuban liked it so much, he offered them a deal. So we started today with the Perfect Package Kit, which includes the all-new Lawnmower 3.0, now available in Canada, which is a water-resistant body trimmer and the only one on the market with advanced skin-safe technology to reduce nicks and cuts. The Perfect Package Kit also includes a ball deodorant and toning spray, and for a limited time, you actually get 2 free gifts, Manscaped's anti-chafing boxer briefs, as well as the Shed travel bag. On top of all that, they've added the Peak Hygiene plan to the kit, which delivers replacement blades to your door every 3 months for a longer lasting shave. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, go to manscaped.com and enter code TACTIX for 20% off and free international shipping. Again, that's code TACTIX for 20% off. AHL team, a lot of good young players coming up. Anderson Dolan there, playing with Lizotte and Lucas Raymond. I was actually thinking Raymond was going to make the NHL team, but ended up signing a few more forwards than I expected. Also, some guys grew I didn't expect, so he's first line AHL. Hopefully, he can still grow there. Grunstrom, Kupari, and Wagner. People are saying it's not like the German pronunciation, it's just Wagner. Moore there, Amadio, Luff, Olsen. Really, 4th line's not that great. Defensively, we got Clegg to look forward to. Burnfoot, I think, is high top 6, so should be at least a low 80 for us. Goaltending-wise, we also got Askarov in the first round with Raymond and Rossi. He's going to be the AHL starter for us, so really hoping for big things from that first round. We also got like a medium elite player. We also got a couple Spitfires in Foodie and Cooley, so hopefully we can eventually have like an all-Spitfire line with Velarde. Next, I'll show you guys the ratings real quick. Again, they're a lot better than the team we started out with a season ago, so 91 offense, 86 defense, 83 goaltending. I really don't expect us to make the playoffs. I feel like we'll be kind of a bubble team. Maybe if everything goes right, we'll push in, but I'd honestly rather not be and still have a decent pick. Chance, obviously, one of the top 3. Also, everyone was saying I should have taken that first-round pick trade offer from St. Louis. Unfortunately, it's no longer in the block, but I'll see if I can make a trade happen here. So right now, guys, we're giving them a similar offer they made us. 2 third-round picks and McKay opposed to Foodie. I think we're also not getting a 3rd back, but Foodie's better than McKay. Low top 4D there, not as high rated. I'll see what they say. Trade rejected. Sweeten the value just a touch. Okay. I feel like just a touch to me sounds like a 4th or a 5th. Let's do a 4th next year. Definitely trading quantity for quality here, but there we go. I think that's not too bad. And the Islanders made us a trade offer here. Mayfield and a 4th-round pick for a 3rd, Sodergren and a 5th. Honestly, though, don't really need Mayfield, especially at $1.5 million. I think we have some defensemen coming up. As you can see, we're actually 10, 5, and 2. A 2nd for Foodie, a 5th and a 7th, way worse than the Blues offer. And 1st in the Pacific Division, not sure if it'll show it, or 2nd, I guess, now, but team's definitely doing better than I expected. And the Dallas Stars just fired their head coach, so that's definitely interesting for sure. And ooh, wow, Savard for Foodie and a 3rd. Good offer there from Columbus, but I like Foodie being a Spitfires fan. I'm going to hold on to him. Even though we're getting some pretty nice offers. Also, guys, taking an early look at the 2021 draft class. You got Rowdy there at the top, no surprise. Followed by a couple created players, Ivanov and Peyton Lang. Dylan Gunther there is at 4. I did actually boost him up to medium elite. He's supposed to be like, I think, a top 3 pick 2021. Brant Clark's there. He's supposed to be like top 5 best defenseman in the class. Cole Sillinger there. I think Matt Sundin. I actually saw this guy. I wanted to show you him. Literally, it's literally Matt Sundin, even with like the as opposed to Matt Sundin. He's Swedish. He's a centerman. He's 6'4", so he's big like the real Matt Sundin. Does it have player comparison? Sean Couturier. Imagine if it was actually Sundin. I mean, Sean Couturier, like, I don't know, you could say he's kind of like Matt Sundin. I kind of want him, I'm not going to lie. Can we get him along with everybody else? I don't know. Right below him, you got Luke Hughes. Definitely some pretty good players here. Carson Lambos usually ends up being like a mid-80. Also down here a bit more, you got Jesper Wallstedt, medium franchise goalie, who honestly at 16 is pretty good value. Chayka's not too bad either, so definitely some decent players. Now at the end of 2020, as you guys can see, currently third in the division. Not too bad at all. 24-15-3 record. Again, I was expecting to be a bubble team with a wild card spot. We actually have a divisional spot. Taylor Hall playing really well, 47 points there in 42 games. Now you guys said St. Louis, everyone said go get that first round pick. They're going to be bad again like they were the year before. They're currently first in the division. Now 48 points. I mean, I guess they are in the 50s like the teams in the Pacific, but still, I don't know if it's going to be a lottery pick. And we just got a decent up here, guys, for the Minnesota Wild. Jonas Brodin for Foodie, a third and a fifth. I don't know if you guys remember. I think back in, like, NHL, I want to say it was, like, 10 or 11. Brodin had elite potential. He always turned out to be such a stud. Right now, though, he's only an 82, so not quite as good as EA thought he was going to be. Making $4 million. I mean, it is only 1 year left, so it's a rental. Honestly, though, I'm kind of fine. Like, I'd rather keep our prospects and picks, but kind of nice to know, I guess. Foodie's got some worth. And a pretty big trade just went down. Ottawa getting Kevin Shattenkirk and Blake Como from the Dallas Stars for a first-round pick and a prospect. They could have signed Shattenkirk, though, in free agency for free, so I really don't like them now giving up a first for him. And so Minnesota ended up trading Brodin to Chicago along with Edmondson and Scott Wilson for a second-round pick and Saad. Honestly, I'm not sure about that trade for Minnesota. Like, they essentially get a second for Brodin, but they're taking on Saad's contract. I feel like he still has another year left after this, but I guess an 8-3 forward is not too bad. Wow, look at this. Devils still in rebuild. They get a first and a second round pick there from the Flyers in exchange for Palmieri and Perreault. So pretty good return, I'd say, from 84-82. We're actually out of the playoffs now. We're 65 points. So we're basically doing what I expected. We're on the bubble. Okay, we're now tied. We're just out on whatever the tiebreaker is. So we could end up in, we could end up not in, which makes the deadline a lot tougher. I mean, for sure, we're not buying. We're not giving up picks and prospects with our current situation. Could we sell? I feel like if we get really good value on somebody, it would make sense to sell still. And the Jets just traded a first and a second to Buffalo for Johansson and McCabe. Seems like a lot. And we're now at the deadline, guys, with a record of 32, 27, and 4. So, I mean, we're positive, which is good. And I think I saw, yeah, we're 1 point out of the playoffs there. Coyotes, 69 points, one ahead of us. But they have a game in hand. So, yeah, we'd be fighting for that last wild card spot. In the Central, there's really no competition. The Wild's the next closest at 61. And the Blues 69 now, so they're still in it, unfortunately. A couple 69s there. So yeah, it's going to be tough, really. Basically, if I'm making a trade, it's got to be a hockey trade. Hall there, a little under a point per game now, 61-63, but still not too bad. So we'll see who's on the block. If it makes sense, obviously, we'll make something happen. Alright, guys, so we're now trying to see if I can fleece the Edmonton Oilers for Evan Bouchard. He's on the block for some reason. 21 years old, 78 overall. Pretty good rating for his age. Stats aren't too bad. Offering them Spence here. 1 year younger, but he's 69 overall, so 9 lower. Not that nice. Same potential. Adding a fringe starter goalie definitely does not, make up the difference, but we'll see if Edmonton just says yes here. Maybe Holland, I don't know, just having a bad day. Yeah, we just fleeced them for sure. Alright, guys, so next you're trying to steal a defenseman from the Winnipeg Jets. I noticed we didn't really have the greatest defensive prospects. That's why I'm doing this. Hanola here, 1978, so pretty similar to Bouchard, 1 year younger. Left-handed. Maybe there could be a future pair for us. Offering Grunstrom, 23-77. So 4 years older, 1 overall lower. We have a lot more forward depth in terms of prospect. Dudas here, 20-66, medium top 9. Probably sign that in free agency for free. I think the value's a bit on our edge, so we'll see what they say. He's on the block. Trade rejected. I'm gonna see if I can just add a 5th rounder there, make it happen. Just a bit low. Okay, so I mean, we'll still have 2 firsts, a 6th and a 7th in this year's draft. Add a 7th next year. Trades accepted. I think it's a couple steals. Again, to trade with is on hard, so it's as tough as we can make it. And we're here, guys, to make a small trade with the Red Wings, offering them Iafallo for a 3rd round pick. Iafallo is not too bad, like 27 years old, 82 overall, but he's playing 4th line for us. You can see only 8 minutes there. I think he's got 1 year left on his deal. Really don't think I'll be bringing him back because we have so much forward depth in the AHL. If we can get a pick out of it, makes a lot of sense. See what Detroit says. And trade is accepted, so I feel like that's good for us, and Detroit could probably use some help. So I think I'm done making trades now, guys. Again, didn't want to do anything too crazy. Only changed the NHL team there. You can see we got Wagner on the 4th line. which, I mean, again, we still might make the playoffs. It's not really a huge difference. But defensively in the AHL, we're looking a lot better there. We got Hanola and Bouchard added. I think those are two great pickups. Can definitely be NHL caliber D-men for us. And that first line, I noticed, is actually doing really well. Anderson Dolan only has 40 points, but 49 games is actually not too bad. And then Lizotte 50, and then Raymond 49 with 24 goals. So hoping for some big growth from him. 24 goals is also probably like top 5 or 10 in the AHL. And the Islanders just fired their head coach, which is pretty surprising. I actually noticed Barzal was on the block, but he has that big contract. And we traded for Barzal last time in the Canadiens franchise mode, so didn't really want to do that again. So it's now the end of the season, guys. As you can see there, we did not make the playoffs. We actually finished 1 win shy there. 87 points was the final wildcard spot in the West. 39, 36, and 7 gives us a positive record, though. So we kind of did exactly how we thought. We were a bubble team. We were in it till the end. The Canucks, I kind of feel bad for. Same amount of points as the Flames, but lose out as they had 1 less win there. Coyotes, Ducks, Oilers, and Sharks, the rest of the Pacific teams. Golden Knights actually last is pretty surprising. Unfortunately, the Blues made the playoffs, but they didn't do that good. We actually had the same amount of points as the Blues, but they're in a playoff spot. If they had 3 less points, they would have been out of 1. Predators would have taken it. I guess there would be a tiebreaker, but still, you know what I mean. Like, the Blues just barely get in because apparently the Central sucks now. Avalanche went from winning the Stanley Cup to 79 points. Like, I don't get that at all. Jets 105. The Senators 111. But I guess that makes sense, picking 1 and 3 in last year's draft, getting Lafreniere and Stützle. I hope I said his name right, by the way. I know I was saying it as like Stützle. I believe it's Stützle. I know you guys are all over me on the names. Lightning Canadiens. And then you have the Lightning and Canadiens with the other 2 teams in the Atlantic. In the Metro, Penguins, Flyers, Devils, Capitals, and Hurricanes. Islanders there, 56 points. That is rough. That is why they fired their head coach. Moving on to the player stats, though, Taylor Hall did really well, 82 points, so point per game. Cannot complain with that. Hopefully Kopitar another big year. Obviously he's aging, but he keeps playing well. It kind of, yeah, there you go, 80 points. So he should be able to, hold on to that rating at least for the rest of his contract. He's 33, Pantley's 36. I'm guessing that would be. Should be all right. Cirelli 54 on that top line. Turcotte 45, rookie year, 31 goals though. I feel like that's not too bad at all. Carter 44, that's still pretty solid. Subban 42. Maybe you could get a rating boost. Frk 40. Velarde 37, his rookie year, also isn't too bad. Honestly, everyone kind of did what I expected. Brown was playing 4th line, so obviously wasn't going to have as good of a year. So Georgiev here as the starter, 62 games played. .896 is kind of rough. Quick's a lot better there. Less games played, but .92 and a 2.55. I mean, our defense isn't the greatest in front of Georgiev, but still, you hope for a little bit better than that. So AHL stats here. Raymond leading scorer, 67 points, actually over a point per game. Lizotte just on a point per game. Anderson Dolan not too far behind. Trevor Moore pretty good. Bouchard 42 as a D-man. Kupari. Let's take a look here and see how Askarov did for us. So they actually split games. Askarov's save percentage wasn't as good. Neither were his goals against. I mean, he's a little bit younger, but he's higher rated. I mean, Askarov a lot of the time doesn't sim well for whatever reason. So, I mean, worst case scenario, we have a lot of trade value in him. And hopefully, he can turn it around. Matthew Boldy, 83 points, 48 goals. Jeez, Caulfield at 81 and 80 in the AHL. Calkin in there, Wheel. So Raymond was top 5 in points in the AHL as a rookie. That actually might mean he's probably going to be the rookie of the year because, yeah, I don't think anyone else there was a rookie. And in terms of goals, he was 5th as well. So, yeah, he's 5th in points and 5th in goals. Alex Newhook there actually put up 40. And taking a look at the NHL scoring leaders, Stamkos is up there again, 108. Crosby, 106. You got Barkov, Malkin, Draisaitl, Panarin, Gensel, Kucherov, Huberdeau. Is Panarin like a 94 now? He's still a 93. Watch him grow again, though. Stamkos is only a 91. I feel like he's got to go up to at least a 92 after 108 points. Goals-wise, Draisaitl gets the Reassigned Phase, 58 goals. I know he almost got it, 2 years ago now, when he was going against Ovi. So I'll take a look here at the entire standings. We kind of already know Islanders in last. Sharks again do well. Like, that's so surprising. And the Senators, look at that. So they go from worst in the league to best in 1 year. Like, that is so surprising. I mean, again, they picked 1 and 3, but still, like, they finished last. I think their last place pick was actually the 3rd pick. The Islanders pick was 1st. Tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And even though Pittsburgh has more wins, Ottawa has more regulation overtime wins, which I thought was the second tiebreaker after wins, but I guess not because they're ranked 1st. Tampa there, Winnipeg, Montreal. How many teams? 8 teams there, 100-plus points. Honestly, I still can't believe Ottawa went from last to 1st in 1 year. Florida there, 11th, 93 points, missed the playoffs. That sucks. Toronto kind of gets robbed too. Where were we in the entire league? 20th again, so definitely a lot better season. St. Louis 21 in the playoffs, Dallas 22. Like, that Central Division is such a joke, and the Islanders there Just a terrible year. So hopefully for them, they get ratty here first overall. Also, guys, decided to check the AHL standings, and look at this. We're actually first in the division. Didn't know we were doing that well, so I'll get the AHL playoffs started and see how the team does. So the first round of the AHL playoffs are against the San Diego Gulls. Obviously, this is the Anaheim Ducks AHL team, so good little Cali rivalry here. Win the first 3, and that's it. So nice little sweep. See who we play in the second round. All right, so second round, we're up against the Colorado Eagles. Obviously, this is Colorado's AHL team. So we won the first in OT, lost the next couple. Another win, loss, Game 7 win. Hold on there. I was a little bit worried. So now we have the Iowa Wild here in the conference final. We're looking pretty good so far. As I said, of course we lose the game. Win, win, win. Oh, OT loss, win. That was, I think, 6 games there against the Wild. Yeah, it was. So moving on to the Toronto Marlies now in the AHL final. I feel like the AHL, it's not worth like simming period by period. It's like the AHL just doesn't matter that much. But we'll see. Wow, we lost the first 2 games. That was at home. We actually won Game 3, though, in Toronto. Can we do it again? Okay, back-to-back. Tied up the series 2-2. 4-3 OT loss, so it's do or die. We have to win these next couple of games. I guess these ones, do or die games. Let's do these period by period. They're 14-5 through the playoffs. We're 13-8. Need to get a couple back-to-back wins here. First period, down by 2, not looking good. I actually answer back. Luff with a couple. Schlemko gets 1 for them. We need 1 here in the third, though. And we do not get it. So still a pretty good run for the AHL team. Made all the way to the Calder Cup final. Lost the Marlies, who, at least in real life, have a pretty good AHL team. So can't be too upset with that. And check this out, guys. The Winnipeg Jets are your Stanley Cup champions. Calder Cup champions, of course, Toronto Marlies. I noticed Winnipeg won the Central, so I'm not wondering like what they did. They traded us Nola for pretty much nothing. I did see that they extended Bufflin, and wow. Okay, so the Islanders are getting first overall. They get ratty. Good for them. Boston jumps up from 12-2. You hate to see that. It's just so dumb, so unfair. So, I mean, who are they going to take? Probably a computer-generated player. Could be really good. Could just be average. I'm curious to kind of see how Gunther is. I made him medium elite. Hopefully he's like at least a high 70. Buffalo Rangers. We're picking at 11. So, we could maybe get a medium elite player. We could get Wallstedt. I think we should be able to still get a medium elite. And then the Blues pick. Probably have to get lucky. And check this out, guys. Lucas Raymond led the entire AHL playoffs in scoring, 21 points in 22 games with 14 goals. I mean, he shoots like crazy. He's got 83 shots there. I was going to take a look at the entire team, but that was what loaded up first. So Raymond, he's got to grow. He's still at 77, but come on. He's had a great year. Kupari 17 is also really nice to see. Even Left 15, like maybe he can turn into a solid fourth liner for us. He's 75. If he gets to like a 79, I think we'd be okay. The rest of the guys, really nothing too great. Let's see, Askarov, we ran, and he didn't do too bad there. So he got the starting job in the playoffs, and I feel like he came through for us. We'll take a look at the NHL playoff tree, see what the Winnipeg Jets had to go through. So the Flames in 6, Stars in 5, Sharks in 7, Carolina Hurricanes there in 7. Okay, Hurricanes actually beat the Senators, so they had that huge, last place to first place, and then they lose in round 1. Canadians in 6, Flyers in 6. Take a look at the awards next here. So the team awards, we already know all of those. Individual awards, Stamkos there got the Art Ross, as well he got the Hart. Petrangelo got the James Norris playing for the Devils. I actually noticed they signed him to 1 year for $8 million, which is $2 million less than he was asking for, and he only signed for 1 year. So I'm thinking there's a good chance he's back in free agency, as he wasn't extended whatever when I saw him, but he just won a Norris, so maybe they'll keep him, or maybe he wants to go to free agency and get paid. I don't know. Panarin, Lady Bing, Tyler Benson, Calder Memorial Trophy. That's definitely a different name for 2021. Usually it's Lafreniere you'll see here. Scheifele, Conn Smythe, Carter Hart, back-to-back Vezina. This dude's going to be like 95 overall. This is going to be ridiculous. Ranta, though, got the William Jennings on the Sharks. So that trade, like I said, for them, getting rid of Kane's contract, getting a better goalie, looks to have worked out pretty well. Hamnick there, Gilmastrian on Vegas. Devils coach got the Jack Adams. How do you not give it to Ottawa? Last to first? Are you kidding me? Giroux there, Selke, Stamkos, Ted Lindsay, then Draisaitl, we know. Got the Maurice Richard. So AHL, I'm wondering... Yeah, look at that. We actually won the regular season in the AHL, so we had a pretty solid year. And then, of course, made it to the Calder Cup final. So definitely a lot to look forward to from that AHL team. I think adding both Bouchard and Hinola at the deadline definitely helped them out. Boldy there held on to the scoring lead. He had MVP as well. Caulfield most goals, though. Raymond did get outstanding rookie, so again, he should grow for us. Lots of things to look forward to here. Jake Bean, best defenseman. He's got to be in the NHL by now. He's too good for the AHL. Copley, best goalie. Casilla there, got the MVP of the playoffs. Kind of surprised. Caulfield, sportsmanship. Rafferty there, community involvement. And then Copley also had the lowest goals against. So we'll get to move into the draft now. I'm thinking we'll probably have to move up a spot or two to get an elite guy with our first pick. Maybe not. We'll see where the rankings are at. So Central Scouting has Luke Hughes at number 11, which is where we're picking. Guaranteed medium elite. I know because I created him. Pick before him is Matt Sundin, who I'd really like to get. So maybe we can move our St. Louis Blues pick up. After Hughes is Wallstedt. Franchise potential goalie, but we already have Askarov, and kind of like Askarov, he honestly doesn't do as good as you'd expect him to, although I do think he does a bit better than Askarov. Carson Lambos there is also medium elite, so could even get 2 defensemen, Hughes and Lambos, if we move our Blues pick up. I think 2 Brant Clark there is medium elite. Number 8, we could move up and get him. I believe he usually turns out to be the best, and that's when he's like lower rated. I actually made him, I think, 55 or something opposed to 50, so he should turn out to be a bit better here than he usually does. The Sundin guy, it's basically just the name. Cylinder, I think, is high, top 6. Gunther, you can see, is elite. The 2 created guys are going to be good, but it's going to be tough to trade off that high. I feel like we're kind of looking at Clark, and then if not, Sundin, Hughes, Wallstedt, Lambos. Try and get 2 of them. I feel like that'd be really solid for us. Also, just check gems. Unfortunately, there's none, only 1 bust there. We'll see if there's any guaranteed elites in the later. Guaranteed, yeah, it's nobody kind of outside the first round. And taking a look at retired players here, Corey Perry retires as a member of the Edmonton Oilers, which is kind of surprising. Gabrick there also retires, same with Kessler, David Backus, a bunch of these guys who are older, bad contracts. Nielsen, who actually Detroit was somehow able to trade to the Stars, pretty sure still had term left on his deal. I'm like almost positive he still had at least a couple years, so good for Detroit. And then who knows what they gave up to get rid of the contract, and then he ends up retiring, so maybe he actually screwed Detroit. Seabrook there retiring is huge for Chicago. I think at this point he'd still have at least 4 years left on his deal, so a lot of players here definitely doing some teams some solids. As I'm pretty sure as long as you sign the contract before you're 35 years old, it's not going to count against the cap in the future, but might be wrong on that one. And then in terms of goalies, you got McElhinney there, Gustafson, Fast, Justin Pogge. So at the draft now, guys, I was just looking at Sundin some more, and I noticed that he's NHL ready, so maybe decided to look at Luke Hughes, and as you can see, he's 5 years out. Now, it's not completely accurate, and he shouldn't be that bad. Like, he should be at least a high 60. Like, at 14 or 15, I have him as a mid-50 with elite potential. I noticed Lambos there, though, is 3 years out. I think Clark's 3 years out as well. I mean, we could still risk Hughes. Again, I'd like to get Sundin, and I think we'll have to move up a pick. Wow, Rowdy's only a 76 there with high elite, so it's definitely going to be an interesting draft. Boston, we could trade for it. 81 medium elite, Ivanov. Okay, maybe we should have done that. Lang, 80 medium elite. I feel like it's still rather ratty as he's got that higher potential. I'm going to send him to at least like pick 9, I think. Gunther, 78 medium elite, so basically turned out exactly how I wanted. Sillinger, 73 high, top 6. And Clark gets taken. Only 62 overall to the draft, medium elite. I mean, defensemen usually do take a bit longer to develop, but I don't know, like, I made him 55 overall, 2 years in junior, elite potentially, only grew by 7. That's kind of hard to believe. LaRoe there just got taken by the Wild, 72, high top 6. Hopefully I got that name right. Wah by the Vegas Golden Knights, 71, high top 6. So I think Sundin could go here at number 9. Now the next player on the draft board is Murata, so let's see if the Wings take him, and then we just have to move up 1 spot with the Wild to get Sundin. They do, 77 medium elite. Sundin's supposed to be NHL ready. I feel like he's probably got elite potential, so let's try and trade for the Wild pick here, and then we're going to try and trade back for our pick. Actually, you know what we should do then? Instead of trading 11, let's just try and trade them 17 and something. I think they might go for it. Alright, this might be stupid, but I'm giving up Mikey Anderson here. 22 years old, 75 overall, low top 4. For us to jump the Wild 1 spot in the draft, like, for all they know, they're getting the same player. Plus, they're getting a free prospect. Real life, for 100%, they're saying yes here. But in game, trades rejected. Woefully insufficient. See, I'm not going to be stupid here. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Like, I can't give up a top 6 to move up 1 pick. Like, we just trade for him afterwards, honestly. I'll add a 6. This is the best I'm doing. 30 seconds left. Yeah, okay. They're just going to be... They're going to be like that. Let them take Sundin. If he turns out to be really good, I still kind of want to trade for him. And Sundin, 81 medium elite. Yeah, so he's as good as Ivanov, who went 2nd overall. Honestly, it's probably going to be tougher to trade for now. And it probably would have been worth it to give up, you know, even more than we were trying. But I didn't know he was going to be that good. I was thinking like 70. Murata was also an NHL already. So yeah, I was thinking about, you know, 77, medium elite, maybe even high top 6. Oh, that's so annoying. So next year, guys, I'm thinking I'm going to try and get both Hughes and Lambos. So Hughes is next on the board. We'll take him. How low is his rating going to be? 59 medium elite. Why is he so bad? Okay, luckily the Blues pick is on the draft board. Hopefully we can make this happen. Honestly, I'll give up the 3rd round pick there to move up 5 spots. I know I'm getting a medium elite opposed to before. Trade rejected. Close to fair value. Add a 5th next year. There we go. Okay, so that's a lot to move up 5 spots. But pick back-to-back, get 2 medium elite defensemen. And honestly, we could take Wallstedt, but I feel like since we have a Scarab, it's kind of pointless, especially since I believe Lambos will have higher value. And he's 65 medium elite. Okay, so not a bad couple back-to-back picks there. Let's see if the Canucks take Wallstedt here. No, they take Harrison. Do the Leafs get Wallstedt? No. Are you... Okay, Florida Panthers? Wow, so they have Wallstedt and Spencer Knight now? Well, that's a joke. So after Florida picked Wallstedt, Dallas here took Chaco, which is a pretty good pick, I think. Pinelli there goes to the Blue Jackets. That would have been our pick. High top 9 in the first round for the Sharks. Kind of rough. Same with the Minnesota Wild. They actually had 3 first-round picks. They had Kidney there. Kind of weird name. And then, of course, they had Matt Sundin, who I still want to try and trade for, but they're being tough with it. And then Lahiro there. They actually took him before Sundin. Sundin should have been arguably the first pick, if not the second, I think, behind Ratty. We have another high top 9. Medium tops. There's a couple high top 9s here, really. Definitely a weird draft. I'd prefer a medium top 6 to a high top 9 personally, but I don't know about these other teams. And our next pick here, guys, wasn't until the 6th round, but I was actually able to find a pretty decent player still available. Hamilton here, low top 6. Can't complain with that at all. And he's also 66 overall, which is pretty good for the end of the 6th. We'll send to our next pick here, which pick number 3 in the 7th. Maybe there's somebody else there. With our last pick here, guys, I'm going to take Dufour. I'm not sure what his rating is, but it says he's only 3 years away from the NHL, so let's see. Oh yeah, 67, low top 9. That's actually not terrible for a 7th rounder. So that's it for the draft, guys. I feel like our 4 picks there were pretty solid. I still really want to try and trade for Matt Sundin on the Minnesota Wild. I actually made them a few offers. I made some with like Subban, some with Taylor Hall, trying to get them a superstar, some with our prospects, and they just kept saying no, but I'm determined we're going to get them this summer. So we're now at the resign phase here, guys. We have just under 10 million in cap space and really not a whole lot of guys to resign. Basically, I'm just kind of looking at the ratings. Turcotte's now at 83. I think Fleury's up to an 82. Duclair's actually dropped 1 to 81. Maybe we trade him. Ferk also dropped, which doesn't really make sense. Like 40 points. I feel like that's pretty fair for an 82. Brown dropped 3, but he was playing 4th line. I kind of figured that. I feel like he'll probably just be 4th line here for 1 more year. Could buy him out, but I feel like we don't need the extra $4 million this year anyway. Look at the rest of the guys here. Raymond's still a 77 somehow, which makes no sense. So defensively, Subban, Gustafsson, Taze, and Walker will be the top 4 next year. And then I'm thinking Bouchard and Hanola will be the bottom pairs. So Schmaltz and Borgman we got for cheap at the end of the year. Played, I think, decent on the bottom pair, but got a couple younger guys now to fill their spots. Walker doesn't want to re-sign with us. I don't know why. 1.6 for 2 years. I mean, we could probably get a better top 4 D-man than him, to be honest. And if he doesn't want to come back, that's fine. Worst case, we just sign him in free agency. Waugh, 26, 77. We'll let him go. Obviously, the good guys like Clegg, we'll keep them. Looking at goaltending, we actually are going to have a very good AHL starters. So right now, it's looking like George Evan Quick, but Iskarov's an 82. Rolls backup. I don't want to ruin his potential, so I'm going to make him a backup, in which case, probably Quick's going to be paired in the AHL. Hopefully, backstopping that team to another Calder Cup final. And then in regards to the NHL, like, do we even actually have an NHL? Yeah, every single one of our NHL forwards is still under contract, so have to re-sign some guys like Lizotte, Amadio, 25, 77. Honestly, probably just let him go. Make some room for some of the younger guys. And Rossi here is still 75. He put up 74 points in junior, which isn't too bad, but pretty sure he did better his draft year. Yeah, he had 105, so I don't know how he did worse. Maybe they traded Jack Quinn. It doesn't really make much sense. Luff, again, I think could turn into a 4th liner for us. 700K is also super cheap. Trevor Moore here, 26 years old, 74 overall, only has AHL potential now. People were saying I should have upgraded him, but I feel like if you upgrade your own team, people just sometimes think it's cheap. Kiliev, obviously, we're going to keep him. Should turn into like a low 80. So Clay here accepted our offer. Same with Luff, Kiliev, Moverar, hopefully that's how you say it. Again, we had pretty much everybody locked up. Like, we traded away Iafella, who I knew was a pending free agent. And I think that's pretty much it. Like, anyone else who needs a contract, like, on the AHL team. Lizotte there just qualified. He wanted over $1 million. He was in the AHL. Just didn't make sense. Rossi, I might give a contract too. Maybe that'll help him grow or something. And 2, if he does get to a high 70, could potentially have a spot in the NHL team. And then any of these guys I'll leave unsigned for now, just so we have more flexibility in free agency. But if I think they can make the AHL team, obviously give him a contract. And it actually looks like Luke Hughes would currently be the 6th defenseman on the AHL team. So since he can't go back to junior, might as well give him an offer. He's only a 59, but hopefully I'll help him grow. And so we're now at the free agency period, guys. Very curious to see who's available here. We got like $10 million to spend. Quinn Hughes, he's an RFA, but could unite him on the blue line with his brother. That'd be pretty nasty. Gabe Landeskog's a UFA, wants 9.5s and 88. So Hull there at 10.5 being a 90 is not too bad. Tatar wants 9.5s and 86. Good luck. Kaprizov also there, RFA. Tierney's an 85 now. Tyson Barrie's back on UFA. So I guess the Devils did extend Pietrangelo. Foligno up to an 85. He grew. That's actually interesting to see. Dustin Byfuglien's available now in UFA. Dougie Hamilton, 20 years old, 87 overall, only wants 5.8. That is a steal. Yeah, 5 teams interested. He's got elite potential. He didn't have a great year last year, but I think we have to sign him. Brody, Deneau, Hamilton's, there's 5 teams interested for a reason. Bouchard there, Stahl, the Banks available again as an RFA, Larson, Brodin, okay. Barbashev there. Take a quick look at the goalies here as well. Jordan Bennington's available, 27, 86, 5.3. Jordan Bennington usually does pretty well too. 0.907 at 2.98. That wouldn't be too bad. Sorokin, there's a UFA. 0.897. Okay, he did a little bit worse. But he's only 25 years old and he's got medium elite potential, so at least 1 year, maybe 2 left to grow. Looking at his stats, they're like pretty solid. Looking at Bennington though, I think the big thing for him is that poise, 95. Like, I feel like he'd be a beast in the playoffs. Compare that to Sorokin, only 80. So really, I think Bennington and Dougie Hamilton are the 2 guys we got to go after. We should really afford it with the 10 million we have, but might still make a trade to be safe. Also, let's look at the 2A players here. This Pashik guy, 20, 62, medium top 9. Ryan Hunt as well, 25, 78, medium top 9. Could be a 4th liner if we need it. If not, just a good player in the AHL. Same goes for Baptiste here, 25, 78. Either 4th liner, like worst case scenario, or just helps with the AHL team. Now, Ernie at the top here, 26, so he's only got 1 year left to grow, 77. Medium top 6 though, so if he has a good year in the AHL, could go up in rating. We're getting him for free. I'll do 1 year, 900k. See what he says. Also, Pillett here, RFA. We only want 700k. I'll do 1 year at like the max for a 2-way. I assume Buffalo matches, but just in case. And then for goalies here, this Hewitt guy, 1956, medium fringe. He's like our 5th goalie. Get him for free, maybe using a trade. Alright guys, like I was saying, been trying to make a bunch of offers for Sundin. You're going to try Hull here with Korolev. Korolev was a 2nd round pick last year, I think. Grinder. Ton of forward depth though for prospects. Hull is a great player, but I think our core, Sundin, matches the age better. If we can have a bunch of guys that are as good as him, around that same age, decent contracts, I think we could have a dynasty on our hands. So, save a bunch of money as well for free agency too. So, we'll see what the Wild say here. Trades rejected. Sweeten the value just a touch though. I don't know what just a touch means to them. To me, I feel like a 3rd rounder is pretty fair. We'll definitely have to flip some stuff for picks because we're down to a 1 and a 6. Come on. Saving salary, resign our pending free agents. Okay, so basically what that means is we have to really blow them away for the trade to go through. We'll try a 2nd, 2023. Trade is still rejected. Again, I think Sundin's worth it. Might just not happen though. And next year, guys, I am trying to clear a bit of cap space. Trading Carter to the Devils for a 2nd round pick. Carter's good, but he's getting up there in age. He's 36, 1 year left. I kind of would just rather one of our younger players get his ice time, whether it be Turcotte, Velarde, whoever. They're same rating and obviously higher potential. Are going to be on the team longer. Devils have a lot of cap space. They might do this, honestly. Trades rejected. Sweeten the value just a touch. I mean, they're a hopeful team. Alright, I'll give you like a 5th to move up 3 rounds, Jeff Carter. There we go. So now, guys, we have almost 15 million in cap space. We're safe to make offers of both Hamilton and Bennington, basically for whatever we want. Hamilton's 28, 87 overall, elite potential. Hey, this guy's, he's going for too cheap. Like, I'm going to come in here at 6.5, which I think is still a steal. Hopefully no one outbids us at more than that. I could offer more, but I feel like 700k extra should just be enough. Now, Bennington, I haven't traded goalie yet in case we don't get him. If we do get him, I'm definitely going to have to trade probably Georgiev. I don't think Quick is going to be able to get traded. He's only 27 as well, so these are young free agents. Bennington, no other team's interested. I'll come in at 5.75. 5 years. I think 4 years. I mean, Askirov's already so good, though. Asking price is not changing. Wow. So it only changes at 2 years. That's definitely interesting. Let's do 3 years. Till he's 30. And, like, that way, too, if Askirov takes over his spot, he'll have, like, a year left. We can trade him opposed to losing him to free agency. So we'll see what those 2 guys say. We still have a bit of money left. Honestly, though, I don't really know if there's anyone else that's that enticing. This is a weird trade. Golden Knights just offered us a 4th round pick for a low top 9 and a 6th. I think I'll take that. Yeah, it should be pretty worth it, I think. So we're waiting to hear back from both Hamilton and Bennington. Patrick they accepted our offer. Forgot about him. I think he was decent, like potential two-way player. Same goes for Hewitt there. He was the goalie with French starter potential. And Ernie says yes, should help the AHL team. Same with Baptiste. Pillett appreciates the offer, went Buffalo. I figured that would happen. Hunt though, same kind of thing as Baptiste. Sherrod third, I'm gonna say no. Hopefully Hamilton's joining LA. There we go, Dougie Hamilton. That was such a steal. Like 87 overall defenseman for 6.5. Petrangelo went for 8. I think he was 90, but way older. Bennington as well as joining the team. Okay, so we have to trade a goalie now for sure. That's so big because like they're late 20s. Hamilton's huge for the D. Bennington, like I said, that poise is big in this game. Quick, we can try and trade, I guess. Like we might as well try because he's definitely the worst one. I just don't see many teams picking up $6 million for 2 years on an 83 goalie. All right, guys. So I'm seeing Detroit will give us a 7th round pick for Quick. We're just giving him to them for free. Here we go. Oh wow, I didn't think that was gonna happen. Maybe I could have gotten more for Quick. I don't think so though, because an 83 overall goalie making $6 million is quite expensive. He was older. We got rid of $6 million for free. I honestly thought he was just gonna be stuck in AHL. So the fact we got the cap space and a pick out of it, who you never know what it'll turn into. I think that was actually pretty solid. So we actually have some picks now in 2022. Maybe should have asked for a 6th there. That's all right. I'm thinking Bennington will be the starter. Georgiev backs him up. Askarov goes back to the AHL. And then I guess after that, he'll be Bennington's backup next year. Maybe even competing for the starting job. Also, too, even after signing both Hamilton and Bennington, we still have $10 million in cap space thanks to the Carter and Quick trades. So I don't really think we'll use it, but it's nice to know we have it if we do need it. And obviously, too, down the road, we have a ton of guys who need those big extensions. And a pretty big trade just went down. Montreal gets a 1st round pick for Nick Bouchard, a 4th and a 5th. And next year, guys, I'm seeing if the Ottawa Senators want to take Duclair back. Obviously, 1st in the league last year. I feel like I'm doing him a favor. For us, he just didn't seem to do as well. Dropped to an 81. We get a 2nd round pick back for him. I think we gave up like a 3rd and a 7th for him. Still a pretty good return for us. And they say yes, so there we go. It works out well again. I feel like we're going to have a lot of forwards making the jump from the AHL, especially after seeing how good they did. And now we actually have a decent amount of picks in 2022. And James Neal is going back to Nashville in exchange for a Afinasayev and 2 3rd-round picks, which I think is pretty good return for Edmonton, especially since they give Milan Lucic for him. Lazat here just got offered $1.3 million by the Bruins. If we don't match, we get nothing for him. So I guess I'm going to match. Worst case is in the AHL, costing us like $300K. He had a pretty good year, honestly, so he might even grow a bit. Alright, guys, so I finished editing the roster for next season. As you can see there, team stats is still hopeful, but I feel like this team's probably a little bit better than we had last season. So first line here, we got Hall playing with Kopitar and Raymond. Raymond's now at 81. Obviously, had a really good season last year in the AHL. Hoping playing on that top line with Kopitar and Hall gives him a good chance at the Calder. Furk, Sorelli, and Turcotte's a solid 2nd line. We got Anderson Dolan down the NHL playing with Filardi and Kemp on the 3rd line. Only line actually getting a +1. Then we got Brown, Prokhorkin, and Ernie on the 4th line. So not too bad a 4th. Defense here, we got Gustin Hamilton on the top pair, getting a +3. Subban Tate on the 2nd pair, and then Hanola and Bouchard on the bottom pair. So I feel like the defense is definitely very solid now. Offense, we could have higher rated guys, but most of these guys are younger and growing, so I'm not too upset with that. Goaltending wise, we got Bennington starting there, Georgiev backing him up. So again, pretty good goaltending duo as well. Now Askarov's actually grown. I'll show you guys his rating, up to an 84. Thing is, he's not as high as Bennington, so I feel like it's probably better for him to be the AHL starter than the NHL backup. Now, we have to hope that he does well in the AHL, because if not, that might mess him up. But if he does really good, he should be okay. Solid defense in front of him. They're all like 75+, except for Luke Hughes, but I'm hoping medium elite potential, he'll actually grow. And then forwards here, we got Wagner, Kupari, Thomas on the 1st line. Kupari and Thomas, I'm hoping have big years. Maybe they make the jump to the NHL next year. Again, we have so many young players. I'm doing my best to not stunt their growth, get them ice time. Help them reach their potential. Now, unfortunately, Marco Rossi got sent down to the CHL again. He was a 77, so he would have been like 4th line for us. Maybe could have put him, honestly, 3rd line left wing instead of Anderson Dolan. Let me know if you guys think I should do that or not, but for right now, I don't think it's too bad. Also, too, I'll show you guys offense, defense, goaltending ratings. Honestly, I think we're probably a bubble team again, which kind of sucks because I'd rather either be in the playoffs or suck this year because 2022 is so good, but if we have a decent pick, I feel like we could probably add a bit to it to get a top 5 pick. So offense down a bit, 88, 85D, 87 goaltending. You guys will see actually Hall's now rating A along with Subban. So 2 former Devils there. The 2 guys that are part of like the craziest, 2 hours in NHL history are wearing the A's. Kopitar, though, is still the captain. So that's it for this season, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, or leave a thumbs up. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.